The world stands in shock and sorrow as Russia's most prominent opposition figure, Alexei Navalny, breathes his last in a cold, dreary prison. A chilling silence has descended upon us as we grapple with the loss of a man who dared to stand against a regime that many see as oppressive. His death, shrouded in mystery and suspicion, reverberates across the globe. It's a stark reminder of the lengths those in power will go to silence dissent. Reports suggest that Navalny's demise could be a calculated move intended to quell opposition and consolidate control ahead of Russia's impending presidential election. Yet, this act of suppression may not have the desired effect. Instead, it could serve as a catalyst, igniting a new wave of resistance against the regime. In the face of such a tragedy, we're left to ponder the state of democracy in Russia and the potential consequences this event could have on the international stage. The loss of Navalny, a beacon of hope for many, reverberates far beyond Russia's borders, with the world watching closely the country's next steps. The death of Navalny, a beacon of hope for many, has indeed left a void that is hard to fill. In the midst of the heartbreaking news, Yulia Navalnaya, Navalny's wife, steps up to the international platform with a call for unity. The world watched in mute horror as the news of Alexei Navalny's death broke. But amidst the sorrow and shock, there emerged a voice of resilience, a voice of defiance. Yulia Navalnaya, the wife of the deceased opposition leader, took to the stage at an international conference in Germany, her words echoing in the silence left by her husband's untimely demise. Her plea was simple yet powerful. She urged the global community to unite against the government of Vladimir Putin. It was not just a plea for her husband, but for all those who have been silenced by the regime. Her words resonated with the audience, a shared grief transcending borders and politics. Yulia did not just voice her sorrow, she demanded accountability. She challenged the world to question the circumstances of her husband's death, to not let it be another forgotten headline. She called out the constant lies, the blatant disregard for human rights, and the oppressive measures taken by Putin's government. Her speech was a stark reminder of the invasion of Ukraine, of the potential violations of international treaties, and of the countless voices that have been stifled under Putin's reign. It was a call to the world to not turn a blind eye towards these transgressions, to not let the sacrifices of people like Navalny be in vain. Her message was not one of revenge, but of unity. She urged the world to unite in their stand against oppression, to ensure that justice is served, not just for Navalny, but for every individual whose voice has been silenced by the regime. The impact of her words was palpable. The audience, a sea of diplomats and leaders, rose in a standing ovation. It was a testament to the power of her words, a testament to the ongoing struggle for democracy and justice in Russia. Her impassioned speech, a clarion call for justice and democracy, has sparked a wave of support, painting a poignant picture of the ongoing struggle in Russia. Leaders across the globe vow to hold Putin accountable for Navalny's death, but the path to justice is fraught with political hurdles. The US Congress, a colossal entity of power, has been shaken by the news of Navalny's death. Their reaction, a mix of outrage and solemn promises of justice, echoes within the hallowed halls of the Capitol. Yet the question remains, how will these vows translate into tangible action? The issue at hand is the long-delayed aid for Ukraine's defense, a chess piece in the grand geopolitical game. House Speaker Mike Johnson emphasizes the need to cut off Putin's ability to fund aggression in Ukraine and the Baltic states. A noble cause indeed. However, passing this aid package is akin to navigating a quagmire. You see, the House Rules Committee, the gatekeeper of major legislation, presents a formidable obstacle. Its composition, influenced heavily by former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, adds an extra layer of complexity to the already convoluted legislative process. A faction of centrist Republicans, hesitant to support efforts that could potentially undermine Johnson, adds to the discord. On the other side of the spectrum, a bipartisan group proposes a smaller aid package. They suggest coupling this with a legislative push for a policy from the bygone Trump era. The Congress faces multiple impending deadlines and a history of delays in passing crucial legislation. This track record, coupled with the current political landscape, indicates that the path to justice for Navalny may not be a straight one. The quest for justice is a winding road, and the world watches with bated breath. The gears of democracy continue to turn, albeit slowly, as we wait to see what the future holds. The legacy of Navalny hangs in the balance, a beacon of hope in a world fraught with political turmoil. Navalny may be gone, but his spirit and the ideals he represented live on, inspiring millions across the globe. His life was one of courage and defiance, of a man who dared to challenge the status quo, to fight against corruption and the abuse of power in his homeland, Russia. Born in a country where dissent is often met with force, Navalny's journey was not an easy one. He was a lawyer, an activist, a blogger, and a politician, wearing many hats in his pursuit of truth and justice. His investigations into corruption within the Russian government made him a prominent figure, a thorn in the side of those who wished to maintain their grip on power. But his determination was matched with danger. In the summer of 2020, Navalny survived an assassination attempt through poisoning, an event that shocked the world and highlighted the lengths to which his opposition would go to silence him. Yet, Navalny returned to Russia, knowing the risks, only to be arrested and handed a lengthy prison sentence. A move widely viewed as politically motivated, it was an effort to quell his voice, to discourage others from following in his footsteps. Yet, the flame that Navalny ignited cannot be easily extinguished. His death, tragic as it may be, could serve as a catalyst, fueling a new anti-war movement in Russia. There is a potential for his legacy to inspire others, to galvanize a nation into action, to seek change and demand accountability. His voice may have been silenced, but his message continues to resonate, a call to action for those who believe in a fair and just society. He may no longer be with us, but his spirit remains, a beacon of hope for those who continue the fight. In his death, Navalny has become a symbol of resistance, a martyr for democracy, and his story will echo through the ages.